Everybody is looking for the magic supplement. Don't pretend you don't. If you're into fitness and you're into lifting weights and you're into doing all of that, I already know you've read Men's Health or Men's Fitness, or you've been on some kind of internet thing, and then you're just hoping you hear about something crazy you've never heard of before, and you think, that's it. If I take that, all of a sudden I'm going to be big and jacked. It doesn't really work like that. And if we're honest, when it comes to supplementation, it's only going to give you an edge. Like, well, a natural supplementation, we're not talking about anything else, but it's only going to give you like a 1%, 2% edge. But that's good, because in the world of bodybuilding, lifting weights and trying to get fit, that edge can actually make all the difference, because it's a marathon, not a sprint, and all that other cliche stuff that everybody talks about. But unfortunately, it is true. So today, I'm going to run you through 10 supplements. I mean, mostly people have been asking, it's Miller, supplements. I thought, okay, we'll just do it. Now, it's a top 10. It's not in any particular order, and I would still say for you to go out and research it and read a little bit more about it, see which ones you want. Because as long as you're eating well and lifting well, that will be enough. Don't feel like you have to spend all your cash on this. Also, if you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Simon316, please do hit the subscribe button. I'm almost at 100,000 followers, and I'm desperate for it. I don't know why. Probably because I'm a shallow human being. And the reason I'm able to do all these videos is patreon.com/Simon316. Link in the description below. Even if you could throw $1 in there, that would rock. But for now, these are what I think. I'm going to call them the 10 best supplements for building muscle, but they're just 10 supplements that will help you build some muscle. Number 10, creatine. Right, we start with creatine because it's the one that everybody talks about. If you're like 50-year-old plus, you say, well, that's illegal. Then you have to explain, well, why can't I just buy it in Holland & Barrett over the counter? Creatine is not illegal. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty science thing of all of this, because I think if you're interested in that, you've probably gone and read about it. All creatine is going to do is it's going to make you a little bit stronger in the gym. Or if you're a runner, it's going to help you run a little bit longer. You have something in you called ATP levels, and creatine will increase those a little bit, which means whereas before maybe you could only do 9 reps on the bench with a certain weight, supplementing with creatine will allow you to do 10. It gives you a push. It's like having a mate there, but your mate's only 2 foot tall. You've got a little Martian mate who comes from the planet Squub, and he's 2 foot tall, and he's like, you can do it. And somehow that gets in your brain, and you're able to push through. That's what creatine does. I don't believe in this loading phase or anything like that. I think if you take 5 grams of creatine monohydrate every day, that will be fine. That will be okay. But again, there are other blends out there, and you may want to experiment with that. It may work for you. It may not. The only way you're going to be able to figure it out is if you do it. There are side effects too. You may hold on a little bit of water, but that's not the end of the world. And some people will hold more water than others, so don't freak out too much when you stand on the scales. But ultimately, just look in the mirror and see if you like the way you look. I mean, it's going to puff you out a little bit, which is always good. And like I say, your muscle will retain that fluid. But I would suggest that you do it. I take mine at the moment before I work out, but in the past I've taken it during when I've worked out. Sometimes I've taken it in the morning. Again, there's no real rhyme or reason to when you do it. No matter when you do it, it will be beneficial. So I would say it's 2 thumbs up for creatine. It's always helped me. I certainly felt a difference. But some people will tell you have to load like 15 grams for a week to get it in your blood system. You don't need to do that. You have it in you already. You're just supplementing with it. So I would say 5 grams a day. But again, you can get products such as, I think it's called Cell Max or Mass or something like that. I don't take it. But that has like 10 grams of creatine. I would never want that much because it would blow my brain. But I am quite sensitive as an individual. But to you, may be the best thing ever. Number 9 is really obvious, but it does count, and that is whey protein or some form of micellar casein. You just should be on some kind of whey protein if you're lifting weights. It's a real quick and easy way to increase your protein levels, and as you know, protein is essential for muscle growth. Get whichever one you want. Some are going to be better than others. You don't need a super duper filter ISO mega duty that's going to cost you loads of money. It may help with your digestive system, so if you find you're particularly sensitive to whey protein, sure, try an isolate. It may be the best thing ever. But if you can only afford one from, I won't name names, I don't know how it works on YouTube, but Cheap Store 3, you know what I'm talking about, get it from there. The point is, as long as you're watching your calories and you're watching your macros, you know what you need to grow and what you need to balance out so you don't put on fat, that's fine. In terms of my micellar casein, I throw it in here as well. It's just a different form of protein. It's slow releasing. So whey protein is really quick releasing, and I would suggest that you take that after you've worked out, because then you're going to flood your muscles with protein. That's good. And before you go to bed, you can have a scoop of micellar casein, which means when you're sleeping, you're still going to be anabolic, you're still going to be growing, because that will slowly be released into your body. It's as simple as that. Also, micellar casein is really thick and it tastes good. And you can put it in sort of like cheat foods you make to thicken it up, and it's really nice. So that's another reason to take it. Number 8 is greens. And what I mean by greens is that you can buy tablets or powders that will literally help you supplement. There's that. Don't forget that's the word too. It's not a replacement. Don't just drink protein shakes. You got to still be eating chicken and all that kind of stuff. You're supplementing, so you're adding on top. But you should be eating a load of vegetables and fruits anyway. But you can buy greens powders that have all the goodness and whatnot, it has calories in it too, of, fruits and vegetables that you can just down, and that just helps raise those levels. I think it's really important. I think even with this 5-a-day thing, if you are training and you are putting your body through somewhat of a stressful, I don't know what you'd call it, activity, you should be having more vitamin C, which isn't on here, but I'll throw it in here now. Make sure you're getting at least 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. If you're an active person, don't believe this FDA nonsense. It's not true. But yeah, you want to be able to get your greens in as well. And you can get these, you can take it in a tablet form, which is easy, or you can get a flavored powder. It's not the nicest thing you ever had, but it's okay. And I promise you, it'll make you feel better. It will help your digestion. And it will just keep your body rocking and rolling after you've gone to the gym and, smashed your muscles to pieces, So definitely get that. In fact, if this was some kind of chronological list or importance list, I'd push that really, really hard. We don't get enough fruit and vegetables by nature. Like, people are terrified of fruit. Fructose. Fructose is okay. Just don't eat 72 apples. Like, fruit and vegetables, good. Eat more of it. Number 7 is intra-workout. Again, you can I would say you don't need this when you start working out, but I absolutely love it. And all intra-workout is, it's a high glycemic carb so that, you drink it as you're working out and it gives you instant energy. So you'll be, again, it's much like the whole creatine thing in terms of what you can do with it. You may be able to lift for a little bit longer, or you may be a little bit stronger. I really, really, really enjoy it. Like, it has helped my workouts no end. And again, I just shifted around my diet to ensure my macros and calories were balanced as to what they were before. You just drop a little bit of food and you add in intra-workout. But, it's packed full of amino acids, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. And like I say, just transform my workouts. It did. And it's nice to drink. They've all got flavored these days. It's just nice to drink a potion as you lift weights. And if you want, you can throw your creatine in there as well. Just make sure the intra-workout doesn't have creatine in it already, because it may do. But yeah, it will just power you at the time that you need to be powered. And if you are into pre-workout, is that on my list? Pre-workout is. We'll talk about that in a second as well. If you are into that kind of thing, and then you want to, again, add in an intra-workout, you'll just be ensuring that even if you've had a bad day or a tiring day or not feeling particularly snazzy in the gym, you'll get over that hump and you'll get over that hurdle, because you'll be giving your body the energy that it needs. So I'd certainly look into intra-workout. Again, cheap place 3 or whatever I called it. They all sell them quite relatively cheap. The one I buy is actually a little bit more expensive, but it tastes good and it just works for me. But it's another thumbs up for intra-workout. Number 6 is omega-3 tablets. Again, you can get them anywhere. Holland & Barrett, Boots, Superdrug, on the internet, cheap place 3. You should just be taking omega-3. I mean, not only is it good for your metabolism, not only are you going to get healthy fats, not only is it good for your joints, it's good for your heart, it's good for your brain, it's good for your mind. It just ticks loads of boxes. It's a healthy supplement, and really, this doesn't even pertain to lifting weights. It's just something that everybody should be taking in. You don't need to go for the 3, 6, 9s and things like that. 99% sure we get our 6 and 9s mainly, as long as you're eating pretty well. But omega-3s, you can supplement that sort of, with 1,000 milligram tablets, even a couple of times a day, if not more, should you so wish. And it's just going to help everything. It's going to help everything that you're doing. It's going to help your day at work. It's going to help your mind. You will be a better person because you take omega-3s, and they cost like £3. It's more than that. But, they're not expensive. Sometimes I think it's the simple things that are actually the more important things. You're just making sure that all this stuff you've already got in your body is increasing, so you can act up here when you are putting stress on your body, as opposed to acting down here, which may be your base level, as opposed to doing all these other nuts things everybody thinks everybody else does, and maybe they do. I ain't into that. I think it makes much more sense to... If we're lifting weights, we're trying to be healthy, so let's live a healthy lifestyle. Take stuff like this, which ties into number 5, which is a multivitamin. Just take a multivitamin for the same reason as omega-3s. It's packed full of essential vitamins that's just going to help you day to day. And when you do train, you lower your immune system, or at least you put your body in a state where your immune system could go down, and that means you could get a cold. But the best way to fight back against that is to take a multivitamin to raise your immune system back up, and that's why vitamin C is good as well. You can get these anywhere, and there are these advanced ones you can get. They're on Amazon. You can check them out. They are awesome. At least I find them awesome. Or you can get a really basic one that's just got like six ingredients, depending on what you want to do. But I think, honestly, maybe before anything else on this list, you should be getting up every morning and with your breakfast, grabbing a multivitamin and popping it back. It's just going to keep you healthy. And if you're healthy, you can train and you can train hard. Number 4 is anything for joints. So something like glucosamine sulfate. I take glucosamine HDL because sulfate is mixed with salt and it bloats me. There's another one as well. The other, I think it's called Crondotine. I never pronounce it, but if you look for glucosamine, you'll find it. If you're serious about lifting weights, eventually your body's going to start kicking your ass. Because again, you're putting it under duress. Bones and joints don't like that after a while, and they start fighting back. But if you start supplementing with stuff now, you're just going to keep them loose. You're going to keep them more watery and jigging around. Don't forget that 80-year-old you probably still wants to walk around, and the best time to try and combat that is now. So there's stuff called... Well, if you just type in joints bodybuilding supplements, you'll find loads. And basically what nutrition companies do is they take all the supplements you need and they'll throw it into one product. It will cost you a little bit more, but at least you don't have to do the thinking side of it. I absolutely think it's important. When I was lifting in my 20s, I thought, live forever. And then you get to your early 30s and you're like, everything is starting to hurt a little bit. Because it's wear and tear. That's what aging is, right? The older you get, the less well you operate. So you may as well do everything you can to counter that. So I think one's called Joint Ease or something like that. It's just good, trust me. Number 3 is ZMA / anything you want to take to help aid your sleep. I like ZMA. I've been taking it for a long ass time, but it works for me. You just take it 20, 30 minutes before you go to bed. It triggers sends signals to your brain that it's time for sleep. It's time to relax so that you drift off quicker. And the more sleep you're going to get, you know this 1,000 times, the bigger you're going to get, the more you're going to recover, and the quicker you can go back to the gym. Again, if you type in sleep aid bodybuilding, there are thousands, and some of them are absolutely excellent. It all depends on what you want. But if you are struggling to sleep, or even if you're not, getting better, deeper sleep is massively important. Like, there's 3 things really when it comes to lifting weights, and it's training, eating, and sleeping, or resting. So whatever you can do to make those 3 things, sync up with each other is what you should do. So there's not really, you understand sleep, you know what it is. There's not much else for me to say, but I'm a big fan of it. Right, number 2 is pre-workout, the most popular supplement of all time. I'm very sensitive, like I've already said, so I take a non-caffeinated one. But even then, I still get a kick out of it. The reason I don't like caffeinated ones is, your body works in balance. So if you overstimulate yourself, which you can do on caffeine, there has to be a crash. There has to be a come down. And I don't see the point of being well amped in the gym and then getting home and feeling depressed. And that can happen. It can affect other functions of your body too. But, you choose your pre-workout. I would always be a little bit... Just try and read the ingredients first, because some of them are well overdosed these days and you don't need that much. And I'm sure you would be all right, but we don't know what the long-term effects of it would be. And again, I think the more natural ones, which are what I take that aren't caffeinated, well, caffeine is fine, but you know what I mean. They're just better, but they are good because, again, it ties into the intra-workout stuff. If you're not really feeling it on that day, you have to train hard in the gym. You have to train intense. You just do. You don't have to, but if you really want to see muscle growth, it's important to try and do that. And if you can get yourself, like I'm just repeating what I said earlier, but if you can get yourself in a state where you feel more ready for it, then hell, you should do it. Plus, pre-workout's really fun. If you want to go all in, I tell you, your face is going to tingle, your skin's going to go all red, and you'll love your training sessions even more because your veins will stick out of your arms. And everybody loves that stuff. They just do. So I'm certainly not against it. I kind of like go on and off it. So I'll take it for like 3 or 4 weeks and I'll stop taking it for a while. I think it works better because your body does get used to it. And again, I'm not a caffeine junkie, so I stay away from that. But the caffeine ones are fine. There's plenty of ones out there. Just try and find one that works for you. If one really knocks your socks off, maybe try and find one that's got a little bit less caffeine in it. But I do understand why they're so important. I do understand why they're so popular, so I thought it was worth throwing in. Number 1 is BCAAs, and they're not the most important thing you should take. I just put them here in the list. It stands for branched chain amino acids, and I actually wrote something down because I wanted to explain it as simply as possible because you're like, what the hell is that? So when you eat a meal high in protein, BCAAs will increase your body's rate of muscle protein synthesis, and that's important as you need to be in a positive protein balance to gain muscle. I found that little description on Google. I thought that makes sense. So basically what you're doing when you take BCAAs is you're priming your muscles to grow. You are telling your body, I need protein synthesis. I need to get bigger. And BCAAs aren't going to turn you into Arnold Schwarzenegger overnight. But again, that word prime your muscles is what they'll do. They'll just send a trigger to your head that, oh man, he wants to, or she wants to grow, so I should do this. I take them, I like them. I do fasted cardio because it just works for my day. It wakes me up. I know some people don't. We've talked about cardio and we may talk about it again. We should check it out now, the best ways to lose weight. I'll try and remember to put a card and a link in the description below. But yeah, I like taking BCAAs for that very reason, because my muscles will hold on to that and it will tell them to grow, so I'll burn fat instead of muscle. But I think it's worth having. Again, you could try throwing it in your intra-workout shake. Check which intra-workout you're taking, because it may be rammed with BCAAs. It usually is. And again, it's just a great way to keep your body in that anabolic mode. You just never want to get catabolic when you're trying to increase and put on muscle, right? It's the last thing you want. You don't want your body eating away at all your hard work. And doing all these little things can change that. So, yes, they are 10 supplements that I think I take all of. I've got my list here. I'm 99% sure I take all of these. Yeah, I do. I don't know. Of course I do. I don't know why I have to look at this. How else would I know to talk about them? And I would give it a go. But don't financially break yourself and don't think it's the be-all and end-all. Don't buy into some of these things online where it's like, do or die. It's not do or die. You can still carve a pretty damn good physique just by eating well. Probably need whey protein, but again, not massively essential, and lifting smart in the gym. You're meant to enjoy this stuff. So, don't go crazy. Although it is fun to try out new supplements. I don't know why. I guess I'm just passionate about this stuff. Again, please do subscribe to the channel, like the video, share, hit the bell. Everyone says that now. Hit the bell, notifications, all of that. Gonna try and do more fitness stuff because I'm actually enjoying it, and I found a way so the comments aren't evil. Drop a line in the comments about other things you'd like me to talk about, and I will. And again, all sponsored by patreon.com, pledge, whatever the word is, patreon.com/Simon Miller 316. And that's that. I'm out. Keep training like a madman.